I'm going to review the Sumi-e strokes that we've done.
Good.
Yeah, and I want to look at swans because my daughter, this is one of her wild swans. She has a pair, and you can see the swanlings. What are they called? Cygnets.
Yes.
And they're both ducking under. So all they look like is little bits of fur on the lake. I did chickens or chickadees or whatever this bird is all week. I did 13 and I have 2 that I like. These 2, I like these 2.
Good.
Marilyn was just saying, can you use regular brushes? So I'm going to do a bird with a regular brush. Now, one of the reasons I'm liking the Sumi-e brushes is because they have white bristles. Because I have now put yellow on this brush, but you can't really see it because there's yellow on the brush, and now I'm going to put red on the tip. And you can probably see the red, but you can't really see the yellow. Well, what that allows me to do is this. I'm not getting enough back of the brush. There. So I've got, and then I do the head, which is just 1 stroke, and I do the belly, which is more yellow. And that's why I do the belly last. So that's a basic, and that's done with a Western brush. He's very little. He's very little. He's a teeny tiny one. Now, do I have a small Western brush? Yes, I have a smallish Western brush. And I have some small Sumi-e brushes, so it's the same idea. So then I do 1 wing, and the other wing, and his tail, and his beak, little tiny beak, and his eye, and his dot, whatever this is. It's probably an ear, and his throat, and belly. And then his legs. Yeah, he's not too bad.
Oh, great.
But again, it's Sumi-e is how to do things you do a million of them so that when you do it, it looks spontaneous. I want a little more there. See, I've gone back to this brush because you can see the yellow and the red. Yes, can you see it?
Yes, yes.
Whereas you couldn't see it before. So I'll do another bird. Also, these are a little longer. So because with Sumi-e, you use the body of the brush more than with Western painting. Western painting, we tend to just use these are just like the flower petals that we did one time. And do his body. Then I take my small Sumi-e brush. And it really doesn't matter because you're only doing with the tip anyway. So I'm just doing it so you can see the color. So it's just on the tip. And we do 1, but it's the same thing. You lay the brush down. This is a very fat guy. So there's another, whatever this kind of bird is. What kind of bird is this, Sally?
A nice one.
In her professional opinion, yes.
Yes, there we go. Yes. Next week, like I said, I want you to think about a painting. You know, this is a painting. This is a painting. In other words, not just a bird.
I can't even do the damn bird.
Well, then you do the bird to the best of your ability, and then you go and you get some brown that you make out of whatever's around, and you just put a branch under it.
Okay. All right.
But it would be nice if you would do a bamboo there. He's standing on that branch. And he's standing on this branch. And this is a branch that nobody's standing on. We started out with bamboo. And the way we do bamboo is we do a little wibble to make the dark part of the node, and then up, and then do another wibble and up, and another wibble and up. And then the groove, there's a groove in bamboo, and they are on opposite sides of the stalk. So if this groove is here, then this groove is here. And then the next one is there. And that the off branches grow from that groove. So here's one that I have shellacked. So here, can you see this groove?
Looks like a Harry Potter wand.
Doesn't it? This is a black bamboo. And the scar here is where there was an offshoot, a little offshoot. And this one has been sawn off here, but this is the groove on the other side. And so this one's here and that one's there. And this one is broken off, but it's on the same side as here. So it's it's on opposite sides so that the branches can grow out of the bottom. And then our different kinds of bamboo leaves. And the idea of a bamboo leaf, you stay above the paper, and then you slowly go down, and then you come back up. Start high, push down, and come back up. That's the big difference between Sumi-e painting and Western painting, is that in Western painting, we mostly use just the tip, maybe a little bit of the bottom. And we had formations of branches, we have formations of leaves, and they have names. Goldfish. I forget, there was another fish. I guess that was just two. Oh, that's in a series.
And again, these are supposed to be leaves, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
these are leaves. I would probably use a larger brush most of the time. I think we started with leaves because the whole thing is this business of using the entire brush. High, low, push, and up. Fish. The big thing about regular fish is that you have them in series, whereas goldfish, you have just three. And there's always a big one, a medium one, and a little one in goldfish. Regular fish, not so important. And then there's swallow, which has a head and tails and wings. And having that, if you can do this swallowtail, you can do any of the strokes, because the swallowtail has the business of you do a narrow bit and then you push to make the wide bit. So that was also the basis of our doing fish. See, now these fins are supposed to be like bamboo leaves. And then you go back to your Western appropriateness of doing just the tip, eye, mouth. Fish. What else did we do? Well, then we went from fish to birds. Birds are basically fish. Fish tails. And you can take this and then put a head on it and some tails, some legs and fins going out the back, and you got a heron. But it's really a fish fin. So you can do that same thing. Heron. Just get yourself a lot of paper.
Yeah, that I have.
And do a heron on each one. And the one you like best, then put an ocean under it and clouds over it.
Okay.
And then you have a painting or a duck. You can make them, if you do them fatter, the wings smaller, then they're ducks. But that just takes a blotting of the brush and the wings and the head, the tail. Duck. What else do I want to do? Duck. Oh, I want to do my, this is my favorite bird. I like him, this shrugging bird. And they talk about that the bird still retains an egg shape. The hardest thing I have here is the head. Okay, so there's his head, here's his beak, and his eye, and his throat. And what I liked with this particular bird was to make him an angry bird. Not an angry bird, a wet bird. I thought he looked like a wet bird. He's not on the paper. Move him up. Move him up. So then what you do is you let the brush separate some. And that's something the Sumi-e brushes do better. And then he becomes a wet bird.
Is that because of the type of bristle it's made from?
I think so. And this particular one is supposed to be wolf hair. Now, I don't know whether it's actually wolf hair. That's how you specify it when you want it to be this white. So now he's a wet bird.
Okay.
And you can do a wet bird with Western brushes. So here's with a Western brush. It's the same bird. The shrug and his wing and his other wing and his tail and his belly and his head. I need more black. So this is Western brushes. And now we make him a wet bird using our old buddy, the fan brush. Because birds, when they get really wet, just fluff out and look sort of bedraggled. So there's my wet bird. So birds, bamboo leaves, ducks, herons, fish. Two colors. I've been using gamboge and red because they show up, but you can use any colors. And we did fish with two colors. There's not very much red on that. And we learned that you can go back.
That's nice.
So fish. And then we also learned that we could do flowers like that. You lay the brush down and you move the paper.
Oh my.
That's why I needed a smaller piece of paper. Flower.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There we go. I said next week I want people to come prepared to do a painting.
Okay.
And that means, you do the Sumi-e part and then you do something else. Flower.
I'm
Not a very
liking the
good flower.
flowers. Could you do another duck?
Okay, if you're going to do a duck, you make a blot for his body because ducks are kind of fat. And then you do this stroke, little. Put his head out front and his feet out
my.
back, and he's a duck.
Wow.
Blot for the body, wings, which is the same as this,
Yes.
head.
Same technique. The neck.
And actually the head could be done the way we did the fish.
Mm.
There you go.
Gee, you make it look so simple.
Do a million of them. And then I thought I would make a swan for my daughter, and I would like to make a Sumi-e swan.
Oh,
So, like ducks, they have big bodies, and they have, this
oh.
swan
Hmm.
in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So these are not as good because I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Oh, you think you need more practice with them? Really?
Definitely.
Oh, okay. So what color will you paint the swans? White?
Yeah, I'll use white
Oh.
paint on, it's a navy blue paper. So that's that. You know.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Glenn. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thank
all of
you.
and Thank
Thank
you for
you.
showing up.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Here's looking
Bye.
at you.